What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about Alabama's first scrimmage. But if you haven't, guys, please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified of future uploads. And by doing so, it greatly helps out my channel and it helps me grow as a content creator. Well, Nick Saban had a lot to say about the first scrimmage, and he said there was a lot of good collision, a lot of toughness going on, and the offense as a whole executed pretty well. He did mention, a couple of penalties, pre-snap penalties, and on both sides of the ball. So, we'll probably have to clean that up. And he also mentioned some drop balls from the receivers, but he said those are things that they're gonna have to clean up on. But overall, he said they did pretty good, guys. And I got a couple of notes on what he mentioned. And one of the position groups that everybody's concerned about, if you're an Alabama fan, is the wide receivers. We had to play some young guys in the championship game, and well, actually we had issues with the other wide receivers as well, the senior guys, a couple of drop passes and everything. And it seems like that's still ongoing as far as, the wide receivers is concerned, but hopefully we can get that all cleaned up before, the season starts. But he did mention of the wide receivers that he said Jermaine Burton did an excellent job. He's looking pretty good in practice. He also mentioned Christian Leary, JoJo Earl. But one particular player that's turning heads is Aaron Anderson, guys. He said he was playing very, very well. If I'm not mistaken, I think he said he caught a 5-yard pass and took it for like 35 to 40 yards, guys. So, and he was able to do that on the first team defense. So Jermaine Burton and Aaron Anderson are looking like two guys that might be in the mix, guys. I would imagine Burton is going to be one of the starters. And he also mentioned Trayshawn Holden did pretty well, good as well. So maybe it's going to be Burton, Trayshawn Holden, and maybe JoJo Earl or Aaron Anderson. But we still have guys like Ja'Cory Brooks that's out with an injury, and Ty Jones Bell and other guys like that can potentially step up. So it's all a matter of who's going to step up, guys. And as so far, it seems like Burton is going to be one of the starters, guys. So I would imagine him being, one of the starters. So, and on to he mentioned the coaches. All the coaches was on the sidelines, but he just let the players play. He was the only coach that was out there, watching them and everything like that, and telling them to just play the game. He wasn't really focusing on technique or anything like that. He just wanted to see how the players execute, without having their position coaches tell them things. So, that's a good way to gauge where they're at mentally, and can they perform without somebody telling them the right technique or the way to do certain things. So that's good to see. And he also mentioned the quarterbacks, and he said Bryce Young had a good day. He was able to move the ball. But he also mentioned Jalen Milroe. He said he had a great day. He said he was able to move the ball against the first team defense, and he was moving the ball really, really well, guys. So that's good, because we're gonna need a guy behind Bryce to be able to come in just in case anything were to happen. So that's telling me that Jalen Milroe has put in some work this offseason, and he's got a more stronger grasp of the offense. So that's very, very good, guys. And he mentioned Ty Simpson. He said everything's kind of fast for him right now, but with time, he'll be able to settle down and be able to grasp the offense. So that's good. So have two talented quarterbacks behind Bryce Young. So that's good. He also mentioned the interior pass rush, and he said Chris Braswell and Dallas Turner did really, really well, guys. He mentioned Will Anderson didn't play, but he said that was by design. And to me, that's telling me that he's trying to see, can these guys play up to the level of Will Anderson, be able to control their gaps and stuff like that, as far as pushing the pocket and stuff like that, because we all know Will Anderson is pretty good at that. So basically trying to build depth. And him mentioning Chris Braswell is huge news for me, guys, because he's a dog too, guys. He's very, very talented, and I was expecting him to be able to contribute this year. So it seems like he's trying to build depth so we can have guys come in and take some of the load off of Will Anderson, you know, because we all know he's the leader on the defense. So that's good to hear. And he also mentioned, he was saying the interior guys, meaning like defensive tackles or D linemen. He's saying there's some guys that can potentially step up, but, you know, he didn't mention any names, you know, of the guys, but I would imagine probably guys like maybe Jaheim Otis, maybe, you know, but only time will tell, you know, with the next couple of scrimmages, we'll find out exactly who those guys are. He probably doesn't want to mention the guys, you know, to try to, you know, make them think that they're at the point where they can, you know, be that good, but, you know, not give them too much confidence, you know, so they can work on some things. So that's good. And he also mentioned the competitive character of the whole team. He said there was nobody complaining. Everybody was on board. Everybody was doing what they're supposed to do. And that's good, guys. You know, it only takes one bad apple and they can kind of spoil the bunch and everything like that. So that's pretty good considering, you know, last year we had, you know, well, actually we still have some guys that, you know, may complain, but, you know, it's good to know that everybody's on one accord, everybody's being competitive, no complaining, everybody seems focused. So that's very, very good for us going in. And then on to the running backs. He mentioned Jamar Gibbs and Trey Sanders had a phenomenal day, guys. He mentioned Trey Sanders had 73 yards rushing, and he mentioned Jamar Gibbs had 55 yards rushing. So that's very, very good, guys. Last season at around this time, you know, our running game wasn't where it needed to be preseason, and then it kind of showed when the season started. You know, we weren't able to rush the ball like we normally do. So that's a good sign as far as the O-line, you know, that we was able to rush the ball. And considering, you know, those rushing numbers, if you do the math, that's like averaging 5 yards a carry. So that's very, very good, you know, guys, for the off season. So hopefully we can improve on that. You know, speaking of that, the O-line, you know, he didn't mention too much about the O-line. He did say Bryce Young was under pressure a couple times, especially on third down. So the O-line is definitely going to have to step up. But he did mention, you know, it's 3 offensive linemen that's out with injury. And we all know that Darian Dalcourt is one of the guys. He didn't specify the other 2, but we have some young guys on the O-line, and we're trying to, you know, move them around and see who we can get the best 5 on the field, guys. So as of right now, you know, drop balls from the wide receivers need to be cleaned up, and it seems like the O-line needs to step up and everything like that. So, but that's all the notes I have, guys. What do you guys think about this information that I give you? Leave your thoughts in the comment section. And once again, guys, please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And I'll definitely be back with more college football content. Thanks, guys, and roll tide.